Hey guys, Dr. Justin Marcagiani here. Today I'm going to be doing a massage gun review. Huge fan of massage guns, have quite a bit. I would call myself a connoisseur. And I'm going to review the Theragun 4th Gen Pro massage gun, as well as the Bob and Brad D6. These are all going to be professional grade massage guns with heads that are adjustable, so you can actually do self-massaging yourself even much easier than just a standard right angle type of hammer massage gun. So we're gonna review these two massage guns. So first off, here's the unboxing, how it looks. It comes in this kind of a nice box, very similar. Here's the Bob and Brad version, like this. Here's the Theragun Pro version right here. So very similar, handle, same kind of material, so pretty equal in that. And prices, just so you know, the Theragun, you're gonna be looking in the, depending on sales, the mid to upper $300 to $400 range. Bob and Brad's going to be in the $200-ish range, maybe even a little bit lower. So this is almost half the price. So just keep that in mind as we go through the video. All right. I've had these both. I've had the Theragun for over a year. I've had the Bob and Brad one for almost a month. So here's the Theragun. Here's how it looks. It's like this in the box. It has the head right in the box all ready to go. And it has another battery here too. It's actually over there charging, but it comes with another battery right in this area here. So it has slots for extra batteries. So cool thing I like about the Theragun. So big things out of the gate. One, here's your head right here. It can move up and down. This shows fingerprints quite a bit. I mean, it's not, you can see a little bit there. So, I mean, they're all kind of that way. It's that material that's a little bit more grippy. But in general, this button here allows the head to move. I never really use this setting. I mean, you could use it if you're standing up and doing your back of your legs, but for the most part, the major way this gets used is this. It gets used like this here, anything in the front, or if you do the back, if you're doing your back, it gets gripped like this. So then I'm doing my back like this. So this way for like more self-care on the front, or even in the lower back or the side of the hip. But if I want like QL here in the back and then up, then I change the angle. So it's either gonna be like this, for anything this way, or like this for the other way. So you get this triangle shape. Bob and Brad's a little bit different, so I'm gonna try to compare and contrast as we go. All right, so we have the shape. These are the major ways that I use it. Here's the adjustable head right here, and here's how the battery pops out. And so best thing, Theragun, right, Pro, detachable batteries is excellent. Especially if you're seeing patients where you're doing a lot of massage or massaging yourself and maybe you run dry on it, the battery dies. It's nice to always have a little charger where it's already plugged in and I can just grab it, pop it in, and I'm ready to go. So that's probably the best thing out of the gates about this one, is having the detachable battery is excellent. If you're in a massage clinic, you're doing this professionally, you definitely want the battery, or have a second massage gun ready to go. I mean, it's half the price, so you could always figure out the Bob and Brad is half the price, so you could always just get an extra gun, so there's that too. The heads on these are excellent. These are the two best guns for heads on the market. Most heads are all made the same way. They're all this kind of like cheap type of plastic. You can feel the material. It's hard, but there's a slight bit of give, because so for instance, with the Hypervolt, they use a hard plastic, but the hard plastic is what it is. There's no give in it. When you use a hard plastic and you're at a 2400 RPM on the frequency, you get a slapping sound, and that slapping can almost create warmness and heat in a way where it doesn't feel good. So this provides a little bit of cushion and buffer. Bob and Brad is very similar. So I'm just gonna give you this kind of comparison out of the gates. So both about a 90, I think it's a 90 watt battery. So their batteries are very similar. I'm sorry, the motor's very similar in that 90 watt. The batteries are very similar, so maybe a slight less use time with this battery. It's about 3 hours. I think the Bob and Brad's around 3.5 to 4. So very close on the batteries. The motors are very similar in that 90 watt area, and the stall force is very similar at around 80 to 90 pounds. So they're pretty similar across the board. So here's your Theragun right here. This is 4th gen. The 5th gen is basically the exact same thing. The only thing different on the 5th gen is there's some additional Bluetooth connectivity features where it'll show some programs. And then it also has maybe 20% quieter on the decibels. So here's how you can hear it, or here's how it sounds so you can hear it. Here's how it looks on the screen. Thing about the battery, it's either full or it's not. So it's either like it looks low or it looks high. There's no like real true gradient to say, oh, I'm 80%, 20%. It's either low or high. So don't love that, but if you always have a battery, it's not a big deal. Here's how it sounds. So it's a little loud, a little deeper of a sound. When you hear the Bob and Brad, it's a little bit of a higher pitch, slightly more annoying, But you can hear it. I mean, it's a little loud, but this is a powerful massage gun. This is 16 millimeter depth. Bob and Brad is 16 millimeters as well. So they're both at the highest level in regards to depth. Now, so I would massage like this, for instance. This is the common way that I massage. Common way I massage. If I do my bicep issue, I do it like this. I love, this is the best head, by the way, is this triangle one. It's the best, just because if I'm going through a muscle, I can flush it. I can kind of get in the grooves of certain areas, so I can make myself a little bit skinnier with that smaller head. And they both have that similar plastic. So just to kind of give you that idea. Now, watch how the heads come in here. So this has this little ball bearing that kind of pops in, and you can see the grooves right here. So this grabs this, and this, once it's in, it's immovable. So that's stuck. That's really good. You'll see Bob and Brad's does not quite have that. So this is really stuck. This is good. Biggest problem with this massage gun, all right, is this area right here collects a little bit of grease. There's grease on there to lubricate it. Bob and Brad's has another type of cover over the piston part, so their grease does not exchange with the clothing. So that is the biggest, I can't tell you how many times I've had to hit my clothes with Dawn and massage it out. So that's a big deal out of the gate. So hopefully in future generations, 6th gen and up, they'll be able to modify that. So battery size, about the same. Well, battery size, we have 2, slightly smaller, but we have 2, and it's attachable. Heads are about the same. The grooves, it's grooved in so it doesn't move. For most of the heads, they're all just circular, so it doesn't really matter if it's loose per se, as long as it's stuck in there. But with the wedge, it does matter because it does change the angle. If you're coming at an angle and then it's not quite locked in, it could change. And I'll show you that with the Bob and Brad so you can see it. And it has these accessories. Similar accessories, I'll give you the difference here. This one is awesome. I call it the clown nose, right? Big foamy thing. This is excellent when you're sick, you have swollen lymph nodes. You can come right down here and it's basically like a, see how soft it is? And I can really get the lymph nodes going. And so that is a wonderful feature when you have swollen lymph nodes and you want to work on massaging that out. But similar, you have this, the kind of the thumb piece, similar hard plastic with give. This is the larger dampener, a little more give. The medium dampener, a little less give. And then you have this guy here for like trigger points. Typically, I would use the thumb over it, but you could do this for like little small areas. And that's it. And so we're missing, you can get an extensive head, and you can get a fork nose head that will kind of fork it, and it will allow for 2 attachments on. So you could do 2 of these, and you could do a hook attachment. That is possible. Now, let me go to the Bob and Brad so you guys can see. So that's, you know, there aren't many reviews out. I watched a couple of reviews. There aren't a lot of reviews that really go into the attachments. I hope you guys gives you a better visual. Now, Bob and Brad, very similar. And I'm kind of nitpicky, so I really go into like all the specifics. So big thing out of the gate, here's the bag. Now guess what? Out of the gate, this is the USB-C, so it's nice. It's not a micro USB. There's no detachable battery, but the USB-C does charge fast. This is how it looks in the box. So it has the heads. It has a nice spot already built in for all the heads up here. So there's already an insert there. The Theragun did not have that. So this guy in the Theragun could easily move around a little bit. That's an insert for it, which is great. Now look at the Bob and Brad version. Guess what? There's no room for the head to already be on. And so I don't love that because I like to have it in the box, pull it out, and I'm ready to go. So I have to go in, grab an attachment, put it on. So it's a little bit annoying. I wish they thought about that. Maybe had created a little bit more space or maybe changed the angle a little bit. So that's one little faux pas on it. A couple things here. The attachments go here. There's a little keyhole, but I noticed that which would kind of like keep the attachments in place, but none of the attachments have a keyhole to it. So I'm thinking maybe for future generations, that's something that they could add on to. And so here's the equivalent of my favorite piece, but see that same kind of give, just a little bit of give. So very nice. So you can see when it locks in place right here, right? There's no keyhole on it, right? So when it locks in place, now it's in, but I could potentially turn it, right? It hasn't really been a big deal yet, but in regards to that, it could potentially move on you. All the rest are going to be circular. So you can see we have kind of a dampener, similar. It's a little bit harder than the other one. An additional ball, kind of a medium dampener. Here's your trigger point / thumb. Is an additional kind of air dampener, probably like the clown nose one that I showed you before. And then this is like a bigger thumb. So they give you a couple more attachments, but again, you know, the Theragun still has plenty. still has plenty. All the other ones are symmetrical, meaning they're circular. So this is the only one that you really have to worry about moving. So that's ideally, if they need to really come out with a keyhole to it. So when they put it in, it will kind of lock in with that keyhole and anchor, and you'll be fine. So just to be clear, about 1700 to 2400 hertz on the Theragun Pro 5th generation. This one you can see here out of the gates. Press hold. Hear that? It's a little quieter, but the pitch is a little bit higher frequency. Don't quite love the pitch, but it is quieter though. A little more of annoying of a pitch, but less volume. So you can see 1500 to 2500, and the Theragun Pro goes 1700 to 24. So we're still in that same area. Now, this is cool because having these parallel bars are wonderful, because if you decide that you want to, here's how you adjust the head, by the way. It's right here. I can even do it while it's moving. There's more areas that you can lock it down. So I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is an infinite amount of angles I could change it to. The Theragun, I think, only has 4 or 5. But again, like I mentioned, I keep it in this position 99% of the time. That's it. And again, same kind of thing. Self-care would be like this. I'm doing my bicep, right? Self-care is this. I can do myofascial release on it. Doesn't move that much, meaning the angle of it. Still feels very similar. Can grab it like this to do the back. This angle I do not like as much as the Theragun to grab it, because I feel like it puts it too far away, where the Theragun's more like a right angle. This kind of pushes it out. So when I start doing my back, I have to kind of stick my elbow out more to hit the QL on my ipsilateral same side. So that's one little faux pas on that, I would say. But similar. Where it's really nice is if you're a massage therapist or you're doing a massage, it's nice because with the parallel bars, you can come in and you can do massage with 2 hands. With the triangle, you don't quite have that. Now, here's the issue, right? The battery just died on me. Now, I don't have a portable battery. If I had the Theragun, I'd put the other battery in. So that's the only issue, but it is USB-C, so it does charge pretty darn fast. So this just did die on me. And this one changes it right here. And this one the material doesn't quite show fingerprints as much as the Theragun. So, like recap, right? Pull them both out side by side. Boxes are similar. The Bob and Brad's does not allow the head on in the box. So if you want it in and you want to grab it, you don't quite have it. The Theragun, you do. So that's, if that matters to you. So you can see like this, the shape. If you were to go grab it from here, you can easily do the same side back. When you have this one, it juts out just a little bit more over here, so it makes it a little bit harder to reach it. But if I want to go straight down and massage someone's back like this, you can do this, but it is nice to have this parallel bar here like this. It does make it, your hands are a little closer together, and it's a little bit easier to stabilize. So both are going to be in that 90-watt battery. Both are going to have around that 80 to 90 stall-pound force, which is great. Both are going to be at the 16 millimeters of amplitude. These are the only 2 on the market right now that I'm aware that have that kind of depth. If you have some muscle, you're a little bit more meaty, definitely is nice. These heads have a little bit of give to it, so you can go in and work it, and it's not going to hurt. The Hypervolt did have harder heads that created a lot of pain and friction, so I did not love that. These heads have just a little bit more give. The Theragun heads feel a little bit premium quality, but the Bob and Brad one is still a great head. It's still the best one on the market in that tier. And so you got to just figure out where you're at with price. This is half the price. I'll put Amazon affiliate links for both. This is half the price. This is a 4th gen and a little bit heavier. So this is definitely lighter by about, I would say 30%, 30 to 40% lighter. So this is lighter. This is a little more heavier, a little more beefier, a little louder. You got the 2 batteries. And you definitely have, this feels a little bit beefer. So maybe if you're going to be more of a professional massage person, this is going to get beaten up more. This may be able to withstand a little bit more. But you're both going to have the amplitude. You're both going to have good quality batteries. This will have the extra battery. You're both going to have the really strong 90-ish watt motor. And you're both going to have the super high amount of stall force. So both really good. And the heads have that give to it. So just want to give you guys my take on it. Good bags with them all. And I'll put links down below. If you enjoyed the review, let me know. I'm going to do a couple more reviews of products coming your way so you guys can get my take on things. All right, if you guys enjoyed it, put your thumbs up down below, and love to see your comments. We'll love to answer your questions as well. All right, guys, take care. Have an awesome day. Bye now.